Okay, this is a translation of Pliny's letter 616, chapter number 13. Let us read. Meanwhile, out of the Vesuvian mountain, in more locations, in several places, or really more, because this is the comparative of the word multum, and so therefore you have our subject, in several locations, more locations, very wide flames and tall fires were shining, relucebat, were lighting up, of which the gleam and clarity, or the gleam and clarity of which, or whose gleam and clarity, those flames and those fires, was excited, was enhanced by the shadows of the night. Here what they're essentially saying is because it was so dark, you can really see all of these flames that are on the sides of the mountain and all of the stuff that is, of course, they are watching. Ile, meaning Pliny the Elder, that guy kept saying, repeatedly said, this is a frequentative verb in which it is going to imply a repeated action over and over and over again. Remember, the way by which you create a frequentative verb is that you're going to take the fourth principal part of this verb here, which originally had been dico, dicere, dixi, dictus, dictus. You take off the usa, and therefore it is dictito, dictitare, dictito, dictitare, and so therefore it is created to mean to speak over and over again. So he kept saying, and here it is against a remedy of their fear. In other words, as a remedy of their fear. But against the remedy of their fear, in other words, to alleviate their fears, he kept saying that fires had been left behind, add the essay to the relictos to create a perfect passive infinitive by the fear or from the fear, the trepidation of the country folk. And he kept saying that the country houses, having been deserted, that they burned through the solitude, the empty spots of the mountain. So he is claiming that obviously these fires are not the fires coming from the mountain, but rather it's just that these country folk had left fires burning, and those fires had now caught on, and that had made their houses obviously light up. And so he's doing this again in order to try and calm their fear. He does it into a remedy of their fear. Tomb. Then he gave himself to rest, i.e. he rested, and he did rest with indeed a very true sleep. And so it's not as though he's faking it, he truly is sleeping. And how do we know that he's truly sleeping? For the movement of his breath, of his spirit, i.e. we're going to learn he's snoring. The movement of his spirit, of his breath, which, then it's talking about the movement, which for that guy, on account of his amplitude, on account of his size, he was a bigger fellow, and it's the size, corporis, of his body, was, that movement, more heavy, I-O-R, and more sonorous, loud, i.e. he snored. And so it also then says the movement of his breath, nevertheless, it was heard by those people, by them, from Isaid, who were observing him at the threshold, or on the threshold. So they're standing at the entrance to the room, and they can really hear him sawing logs. And that's why he says that he rested with a most true sleep. And so again, what is being highlighted at all times by Pliny the Younger is the bravery and the calm nature and the calculated nature of his uncle. Whereas others are panicking and they're frightened, he is a problem solver. He is a scientist, and he allows his courage to keep a steady hand and a steady mind. So, good luck studying. Again, thanks so much, and make sure you learn your lines.